Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about the physiology of cardiac cycle. Now first of all, what is cardiac cycle? Cardiac cycle is actually a sequence of electrical and the mechanical events occurring in a heart during a single heartbeat. Or in other words, we can also say that cardiac cycle is actually the cardiac events that occurs from the beginning of one heartbeat to the beginning of the next heartbeat. It is the cardiac cycle, right? Now one cardiac cycle takes about 0.8 seconds. Now from where did this 0.8 second came? Now you can imagine like this. If one particular heart takes around 60 seconds to beat for 75 times. Okay. So what time it will take to beat for one time? Okay, so 60 by 75, that is the 0.8 seconds, right? So one cardiac cycle takes about 0.8 second to do its whole complete one cycle. Okay. Now over here, as you can see, this is the Weger's diagram. Now over here, different cardiac events, okay, are shown in a particular graph, in a particular graph form. What are the phases of the cardiac cycle? So these are the phases included in a particular cardiac cycle. So over here, this is the atrial systole. Okay, then ventricular systole. Now where is the atrial diastole? So atrial diastole basically merges with the ventricular systole. Okay, then we have the two phases of ventricular systole. Then we have the ventricular diastole as well, which has further two phases, early and the late phase. We'll discuss about this. So first of all, we have the atrial systolic phase. Now as you can see over here, this is the atrial systolic phase. Okay, this is the mitral valve, or we can say the atrioventricular valve, and this is the semilunar or the aortic valve. Okay, so this is the left side of the heart. We'll talk about this left side. Now what happens in the atrial systolic phase? Now before this atrial systolic phase, we were having the ventricular diastolic phase, of course. Okay, and so what happened over here? In the ventricular diastolic phase, about 75% of the ventricular filling has already done. So before this particular atrial systolic phase, 75% of the ventricular filling has already done, as you can see in this figure. Okay, because of the ventricular diastolic phase. Okay, so by this we can say that in the atrial systolic phase, this particular atrial systolic phase causes only 25% of the ventricular filling, because the rest one was done by the ventricular diastolic phase. Okay, and so we can say by this that if the atria even fails, okay, to work, then also it is not noticed. Even if the atria fails to work, then also it is not noticed unless the person is exercising. Okay, because already the 75% is actually filled up by the ventricular diastolic phase, right? So even if the atria fails, then also it is not noticed, because it has to fill only the remaining 25% of the blood into the ventricles, right? So unless you are not exercising, if the particular atria is failed, the person won't be noticed about that. Okay, now what changes basically occurs in the atria? Okay, while in the atrial systolic phase. So over here, the pressure inside the atrium, okay, basically increases, of course. Also the ventricular pressure also increases. Now over here there is narrowing of the great veins, and also very importantly, fourth heart sound is heard in the atrial systolic phase. Okay, now what does this fourth heart sound is actually caused due to? Now fourth heart sound is caused by the opening of this particular mitral valve. This mitral or the atrioventricular valve basically opens, okay, and there is closure of the aortic valve. This atrioventricular valve opens and this aortic or the semilunar valve closes. Okay, and because of this, the fourth heart sound is heard. Now very importantly, listen that this particular fourth heart sound is not heard in a normal healthy human being. It is only heard in the patient suffering from the ventricular hypertrophy. Okay, in the rest healthy human being, this fourth heart sound is normally not heard. Only it is heard in the patient suffering from the ventricular hypertrophy. Okay, so fourth heart sound. Now next phase we are having is the atrial diastolic phase. Now I told you before only that this particular atrial diastolic phase actually merges with the ventricular systolic phase, right? And in this particular atrial diastolic phase, the atria of course relaxes, and so the pressure inside the atrium decreases. Simple. Now next is the ventricular systolic phase. Okay, it has two phases for the first phase and second phase. So now in the ventricular systolic first phase, in this particular first phase, what happens? Very important, there is isovolumetric contraction phase occurring in the first phase of ventricular systole. Isovolumetric contraction phase is occurring over here. Okay, and so because of this, what happens? There is increment in the ventricular pressure as compared to the atrial pressure. Okay, because the ventricles basically contracts over here, the pressure inside the ventricles are more as compared to the atrium. Okay, and so what will happen because of this? There will be closure of the atrioventricular valve, because the ventricles are having higher pressure as compared to the atrium. This particular atrioventricular valve or the mitral valve will close. Okay, and this closure of the atrioventricular valve basically causes the first heart sound. Okay, so first heart sound is caused because of the closure of the atrioventricular valve in the ventricular systolic phase, or we can say the isovolumetric contraction phase, because the ventricular pressure increases as compared to the atrial pressure. Okay, now what happens over here next? Because this particular both the valves are closed right now. Okay, in the middle of this particular first phase of ventricular systole, what happens is we have this closed chamber forming over here, as you can see. Okay, we have this closed chamber. Okay, and so the volume is remaining constant over here. Okay, but the pressure is continuously increasing inside this particular ventricles. So now what happens? At the end of the first phase of the ventricular systole, what happens is at the end of this first phase, there is opening of this particular semilunar valve. Okay, so this particular first phase ends by opening of the semilunar valve, and the ventricular systolic second phase basically initiates or begins by the opening of the semilunar valve. So ending of this first phase is noticed by the opening of the semilunar valve, and the beginning of the second phase is noticed by the opening of the semilunar valve, or we can say the aortic valve. Now if you remember this ventricular systolic phase, in this particular systolic first phase there was occurring isovolumetric contraction, right? Now in the second phase of ventricular systole there would be occurring ejaculation, or we can say the ventricular ejaculation will occur in the second phase of ventricular systolic phase. So remember, isovolumetric contraction phase basically occurs in the first phase of ventricular systolic phase. Okay, while the ventricular ejection basically occurs in the second phase of ventricular systolic phase. Okay, so now the ventricular ejection, as you can see over here, ventricular ejection, that means the particular whatever the amount of blood was present in the ventricles, okay, will now eject out from the ventricles. Okay, as you can see over here, that's why its name is ventricular ejection phase. Okay, so now this particular ejection of the blood from the ventricle can be done by two ways, rapidly and slowly, right? So now in the rapid ejection phase, what happens is 2/3 of the particular stroke volume, okay, is ejected. Now what is stroke volume? Stroke volume, that means volume of the blood coming out from both the ventricles in one heartbeat, and it is about 80 mL. Okay, so about in the rapid ventricular ejection phase, 2/3 of the stroke volume, okay, is actually ejected. Now over here the pressure of course will be increased inside the ventricles, because the ventricle actually ejecting out the particular amount of blood, the 2/3 of the blood, in a very rapid manner. So pressure is increased. Okay, and so the pressure in the left ventricle is about 120 mmHg, and the pressure in the particular right ventricle is about 25 mmHg. Now also remember, the right ventricular ejection begins before the left ventricular ejection. Okay, and the right ventricular ejection basically continues even after the left ventricular ejection is complete. Okay, now as both the ventricles almost eject the same amount of stroke volume, okay, same amount of blood, the velocity of the right ventricular ejection is less as compared to the left ventricular ejection. Okay, and so the pressure inside the left ventricle is more, about 120, okay, and in the right there is about 25 mmHg. Now we talk about the slow ventricular ejection phase. Till now we discuss about the rapid ejaculation. Okay, now we'll talk about the slow ejaculatory phase. Now the slow ejaculatory phase basically ejaculates the remaining 1/3 of the stroke volume. Okay, because 2/3 was done by the rapid one. Okay, and the slow one now will actually eject 1/3 of the remaining stroke volume. And in this slow ejection phase, the pressure inside this particular ventricles decreased. Okay, but still there is a forward flow occurring over here. Now let's discuss about this whole concept again. What happens is, in the ventricular systolic second phase, there is ventricular ejection occurring in this particular second phase. Remember, ventricular ejection phase. Okay, and over here this particular phase is known to be initiated when this particular semilunar valve opens, right? Now this ventricular ejection is basically done by two ways, rapid and slow. Now what happens in the rapid ejaculatory phase? In the rapid one, there is ejection of the 2/3 of the stroke volume. What is stroke volume? Stroke volume is the amount of blood ejaculated by both the ventricles in one heartbeat. Okay, and it is about 80 ml. Over here, 2/3 of the stroke volume is ejected by the ventricles. Okay, and in the rapid phase, what happens is the pressure inside this both actually increases. Okay, and the pressure inside the left one is more as compared to the right one. There is 120 over here in the left one, there is 120, and over in the right one there is 25 mmHg of pressure. Now next way was slow ejaculatory phase. In the slow ejaculatory phase, the remaining 1/3 of the blood from the ventricles is actually ejected, and over here by this particular phase, the pressure inside the ventricles is now decreased. Okay, but still there is forward flow of the blood from the ventricles. Simple. Okay, so first phase includes the isovolumetric contraction phase, and second phase includes the ventricular ejection phase. Now next phase we are having is the ventricular diastolic phase. Okay, now what happens in the ventricular diastolic phase? In this we have further two phases, as you can see, early and the late. Now this early ventricular diastolic phase is also known as the protodiastolic phase. Early is also known as the protodiastolic phase. Now what happens over here is the ventricles over here basically relaxed. Okay, over here the ventricles are relaxed, as the name says, ventricular diastole. So over here the ventricles basically relaxed. Okay, and over here the aortic pressure increases. Why? Because as you can see, almost all the amount of blood has entered inside the aorta, and so the aortic pressure increases. Now because of this increment in the aortic pressure, this pressure basically causes the backward flow of the blood. Okay, backward flow of the blood basically is caused due to the increment in the aortic pressure. Okay, but this backward flow of the blood is prevented by the closure of the semilunar or the aortic valve. Okay, and the closure of this semilunar valve basically causes the second heart sound. Second heart sound is caused due to the closure of the semilunar valve, okay, to prevent the backflow of the blood from the aorta back into the ventricles. So now what happens is the aortic pressure, okay, was continuously increasing, okay, and it is so much that the backflow of the blood was happening, right? But now as the semilunar valve are closed, so this backflow of the blood will strike onto the closed chamber, okay, and this will cause a sudden small increment in the aortic pressure, okay, and this will give us the diacritic notch in our Wiggers diagram. Now after this diacritic notch formation, after this backflow, now the blood will go in the forward direction, okay, and now by the end of this particular phase, the pressure inside the aorta also falls down. This both valves are closed right now. Okay, just after the protodiastolic phase, what happens is this particular blood in the aorta has pushed in the forward direction, right? So just after that, okay, both the valves are still closed. Okay, so that is the isovolumetric relaxation phase, means the phase between this early and the late phase is the isovolumetric relaxation phase, where the blood is also not over here and both the valves are closed. Okay, early phase was the protodiastolic phase. Okay, and after this isovolumetric relaxation phase will occur. Now the ventricular diastolic phase, or we can say the late phase, after the isovolumetric relaxation phase has end up. Now over here in this particular late phase, there would be rapid passive filling phase occurring. Now what is this rapid passive filling phase? What happens? During the ventricular systolic phase, as you can see over here, during the ventricular systolic phase, now over here this phase actually comes in the category of ventricular diastolic phase only, okay. But in this, what happens is during the ventricular systolic phase, the atria is in diastolic phase, right? And so the atrial filling is basically occurring, okay? And over here, because the atrial filling is occurring, there is increase in the atrial pressure, okay? And so the atrioventricular valve opens, okay? When both the valves are closed, till then our phase was the isovolumetric relaxation phase, okay? Or we can say the phase of the early diastole, okay? But in the late, there is increment in the atrial pressure, and so the atrioventricular valve basically opens, okay? And as because of this, the blood from the atria actually enters inside the ventricles, okay? And this basically gives us the third heart sound. So third heart sound is basically heard in the ventricular diastolic late phase, okay? Or we can say the rapid passive filling phase. So very important, remember the third heart sound is basically heard in the rapid passive filling phase of the ventricular diastolic phase, okay? Now both the chambers, the pressure inside both the chambers in the atria and the ventricle is decreased because they have now become the common chambers, right? Because this AV valve is open, so they are now common chambers, okay? And so the pressure inside both of them are now same, okay? Now the next phase, including in this particular phase only, it is the reduced filling phase, or we can say the diastasis phase. Now in the diastasis phase, both the chambers pressure are reduced continuously, and the last phase over here is the last rapid filling phase. First of all, we were having in this phase is the rapid passive filling phase, then we got the reduced filling phase and the diastasis phase, where the pressure inside this are continuously reduced. This last rapid filling phase is basically coinciding with the atrial systolic phase, okay? This particular last rapid filling phase is actually coinciding with the atrial systolic phase, where if you remember, 75% of the ventricular filling has been done in the last rapid filling phase of the ventricular diastolic phase. So this was the whole cardiac cycle. So now let's discuss about all the phases of the cardiac cycle in short. First of all, we were having the atrial systolic phase. Now in this there is contraction of the atria, of course, okay? And over here the 25% of the ventricular filling of the blood was occurring, right? Because the rest 75% of the ventricular filling was done by the ventricular diastolic phase. So only remaining 25% is done by the atrial systolic phase. And over here, very important, the fourth heart sound is heard in the patient suffering from the ventricular hypertrophy. And the fourth heart sound is heard because of the opening of the mitral valve or the atrioventricular valve and closure of the semilunar or the aortic valve, okay? Now next phase is the atrial diastolic phase. The atrial diastolic phase basically merges with the ventricular systolic phase, okay? And over here in the diastolic phase of atrium, the atria of course relaxes, okay? And the pressure inside the atrium decreases. Now next phase is the ventricular systolic phase. Now in the first phase of ventricular systole, there is isovolumetric contraction phase occurring, okay? And so because of this, the pressure inside the ventricles are more as compared to the atrium, of course, okay? And over here in the isovolumetric contraction phase, that is the first phase of ventricular systolic phase, there is closure of the atrioventricular valve occurring, because of which we can hear the first heart sound. So first heart sound is heard in the isovolumetric contraction phase because of the closure of the mitral valve or the atrioventricular valve, okay? Now next phase is the second phase of the ventricular systole, okay? And this second phase basically includes the ventricular ejection phase, okay? And the ventricular ejection phase, over here there is opening of the semilunar valve, okay? And over here we have two further phases, that is a rapid ventricular ejection phase and the slow ventricular ejection phase. In the rapid one, 2/3 of the stroke volume is actually ejected, okay? While in the slow ventricular ejection phase, only 1/3 of the stroke volume is ejected. Now next phase we are having is the ventricular diastolic phase. Now in the early ventricular diastolic phase, this phase is also known as the protodiastolic phase and also includes the isovolumetric relaxation phase. Now what happens in the protodiastolic phase? Now in this particular phase, the ventricle, as you can see, basically gets relaxed, okay? And the blood amount basically enters inside the aorta, okay? And over here the backflow of the blood from the aorta basically occurs because of the increment in the aortic pressure. Okay, but to prevent this, the semilunar valve basically closes. Okay, which basically gives us the second heart sound. Okay, closure of the semilunar valve to prevent the backflow of the blood from the aorta. Okay, closure of this valve gives us the second heart sound. But because of the backflow of the blood in this particular aorta and because of the striking of the blood in the closed chamber, this causes sudden increment in the small amount of aortic pressure, and this pressure actually gives us the diacritic notch. Okay, now after this we are having the isovolumetric relaxation phase. Now in the IVR, what happens is the pressure inside this aorta decreases. Why? Because the blood after backflow, okay, then goes in the front direction, in the forward direction, and so the amount of blood decreases and the pressure inside the aorta decreases. Okay. And over here, remember, in the isovolumetric relaxation phase in the IVR, both the valves are closed. That means the semilunar and the mitral valve, both the valves are closed in the IVR, in the isovolumetric relaxation phase, right? Now in the late ventricular diastolic phase, what happens is there is rapid passive filling phase occurring. Okay, rapid passive filling phase, slow filling phase, okay, and the last rapid filling phase. These three phases are included in the ventricular diastolic phase. So now both the valves were closed, right? And as because of this, there will be filling of the blood inside the atrium, of course. Okay, and so inside the atrium, the pressure would have increased. Okay, and so what will happen? Because the atrial pressure is increased, this particular mitral valve will open. Okay, and the blood from the atrium will move inside the ventricles. Okay, and this particular whole process will give us the third heart sound. Means opening of the mitral valve and moving of the blood from the atria to the ventricles gives us the third heart sound. Okay, now both the chambers have the pressure reduced. Why? Because now they are actually acting as a common chamber. Okay, the next phase in the late diastolic phase is the reduced filling and the diastasis phase. Now over here there is continuously decrement in the pressure inside both the chambers. Okay, now we have the last rapid filling phase. Now over here 75% of the blood is actually filled up inside the ventricles, means 75% of the ventricular filling is done. Okay, which will be then completed in the atrial systolic phase where the remaining 25% is done. Okay, so this was the whole cardiac cycle. Now let's revise again the heart sounds. So first heart sound was heard because of the closure of the atrioventricular valve in the isovolumetric contraction phase of the ventricular systolic phase. Okay, and the second heart sound is heard because of the closure of the semilunar, or we can say the aortic valve, especially in the protodiastolic phase of the ventricular diastolic phase. Now third heart sound is basically heard because of the opening of the atrioventricular valve, or we can say the mitral valve. Okay, and so the blood from the atrium actually enters inside the ventricle. Okay, and this basically occurs in the rapid passive filling phase of the ventricular diastolic phase. Okay, and the fourth heart sound is heard in the atrial systolic phase. Over here there is opening of the atrioventricular or the mitral valve, and there is closure of the semilunar or the aortic valve, actually gives us the fourth heart sound. Okay, so today up till here we will discuss about the Vickers diagram in our next video. Thank you so much.